Sonic the Hedgehog, better known as Sonic 06, released in 2006 for the Xbox 360 and in early 2007 for the PlayStation 3. As everyone probably knows at this point, this game was a critical failure due to its rushed development, and would adversely affect the general consensus of the Sonic franchise for years to come. Despite this though, Sonic 06 sold quite well at the time of its release, and even got DLC in 2007. However, SEGA has never re-released this game. It never got a PC port, though there was originally one planned, and at one point it was even removed from online stores for a while to bolster the integrity of the brand. And that leads us to today. Sonic 06 still has never resurfaced, and the only legal way to play is to buy a copy for PS3 or Xbox 360. In this video, we're going to try and figure out why, so without further ado, let's dive in. To get one thing straight first, no, Project 06 does not count as preserving this game. It's a ground-up fan remake that fixes and otherwise alters many aspects of the original experience, and while that gives it value in of itself, it also means that it's not a proper recreation of the original. Are we clear? Good. Anyway, there's two key potential reasons that Sonic 06 has yet to be re-released. The first and most obvious is the game's critical reception. Being the universal laughingstock that it is, it's easy to imagine that SEGA has no interest in revisiting it, whether it's a port, remaster, or remake. As much as I advocate for preservation, and as much as I believe this game is worth preserving, I can definitely understand SEGA wanting to erase this blemish from their franchise. But here's the thing that throws this whole idea into question. In 2022, Sonic 06 was relisted on the Xbox 360 marketplace and is available again to download from there. As far as I'm aware, nobody from SEGA has given any explanation as to why they did this, but it certainly casts a shadow of doubt on whether they wish to preserve this piece of Sonic's history or not. And yet, despite this game being relisted on the Xbox 360 marketplace, it still hasn't returned to PlayStation Network, and the game has yet to be added to the backwards compatibility list for modern Xbox consoles. Could it be in the future though? Well, nothing's totally impossible, but it does make one wonder why it hasn't happened yet. That brings us to our second possible reason, and this one's a little more speculative and vague. There's some kind of technical issue that would make a re-release difficult or even impossible. Now, before you all go into the comments and tell me that it's because of the Havoc physics engine, that software is still being actively supported, so it's almost certainly not the reason. So what is the reason? Well, nobody really knows. The most frightening possibility is that SEGA lost the source code at some point, meaning that they literally can't port it unless they hired a team to decompile the release version. This would be very time consuming and likely not worth it for a company that barely puts any resources into Sonic games in the first place these days. So, with all of this said, is there any modern official way to play Sonic 06? Well, not really, unless you count the PS3 and Xbox 360 as modern consoles, which, considering that they're approaching their 20th birthdays, I do feel like we need to move on. The only way to play this game on modern hardware is through emulators like Xenia, and while the technology is promising, it's still very much in its infancy, and you're likely to encounter texture loading issues and flickering. This all leaves us with one simple question. Is Sonic 06 worth preserving? Well, like I said in my previous Abandoned By video, just because a game is bad does not mean it's not worth preserving. While Sonic 06 was a critical failure for the franchise, it also marked a very important turning point for the series, and that historical context may be lost if this game isn't properly maintained. While we should always look towards the future, we should also remember the past so that we don't make the same mistakes again, and in my opinion, that's a lesson that the Sonic series still needs to learn from, even today. If you like this video, be sure to check out some of my other Sonic content and subscribe so you don't miss my full retrospective on Sonic 06. You can also become a member for just $1 per month to unlock exclusive emojis and access to the Spotland Discord server. Stay tuned, thanks for watching, and as always, enjoy life.